Normal 6x6 Sudoku rules apply. Place the digit. Okay, yes. Dynamic fog, which means placing correct digits may or may not lift fog. This is my actually preferred type of fog. I love dynamic fog. I think it's brilliant. It solves the issue with people just guessing in fog, so that's nice. Okay, chess pieces. This is the one where when I was writing, I was like, what the heck? Digits on a white chess piece counts how many squares that piece can legally move to containing a digit different from itself. Okay, that makes sense. So like, if it's on a knight, if there's a 1 on a knight, no. Yeah, if it's a 1 on the knight, then it has only one non-1 in all the knight moves around it. So that makes sense. And a digit on a black piece counts how many of the squares the piece can legally move to contain the same that does contain the same digit, not in counting itself. Okay. Okay. Okay, we have white pieces, which counts different numbers, black pieces, which count same numbers. We have a king, 8 pawns, 2 rooks, 2 knights, 2 bishops, and a queen. Love it. Legal moves, as chess, do not need explanation. Avoid a check. A move may not make a possible for an opposed color piece to see the same color king. Okay. Okay. For example, if row 1, column 1 is a white king, and row column 2 is a white bishop, and there's a black queen, then the king cannot move and the bishop cannot move away. Okay, so that matters for these counting things, because now they can't legally move out of the way. Okay, that's cool. I like that. I really like that. Okay, pawns might be the only tricky one, right? Well, no, it's legal move, so it can go forward and it can, and it can take diagonally. So 2 steps forward if there are no pieces, 2 squares in front of them, and they are on their starting square, which is row 5 for white and row 2 for black. Okay. Okay, yeah, I think the rest of this is just regular chess rules. So, all right, it's only been 3 minutes. Okay, we're starting the puzzle now. Okay, all right. So what do we got here? We have a bishop, we have a king, we have a knight. This king the king is a black king, so therefore the black king is counting what? Black king counts different stuff. Let's update our little thingy here. Actually, rule box, edit the rule box to say dynamic fog, white pieces count different numbers, black pieces count same, and chess. All right, there you go. Everything you need to know about this rule set. Well, thanks, Anel. I hope you had fun, and thanks for participating in this and kicking us off and passing off the baton. Take care. Okay, so black counts same. So this number sees these ones here, and realistically it can only be up to a 3. Well, it has to be a minimum 1, right? But it can only go up to a 3. So we'll pencil 1, 2, 3. I guess now this is interesting, right? Because the bishop sees his knight, and basically it can't go beyond the knight, or at least this is what I'm assuming, right? Is that this is a legal move, but this is not a legal move because the knight's blocking it from getting there. So we have 1 legal move, 2, 3. And then obviously this one can't count the same as this one. So this bishop can only be a 1 or a 2, and it has to be one of these pieces as well. Do I allow backseating? This is just a try. This is just like the intro thing. Let's wait until I get like super stuck, and then I'll ask for help in the meantime. Or if you get really frustrated at me, then, you know, then you start going, oh, I'll give you another hint. I'll give you a hint. You can beg for hints. And then maybe I'll take a glance. But for a bit, I want to try to figure it out myself. Okay, so white pieces count different. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So we have 6 possible ones, and these can all be different numbers. So this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I was just realized for this one, even though these are the legal ones, if it's this one, then it has to be a 1. And if it's this one, then this can't be 1. So we actually can't have a 3. So this actually can only be a 1 or a 2. So that gives us that. So this can only be a 1 or 2. If it's here, it'll be the 1. They both share the square too. So that's an interesting thing too. They both share that one as well. Does that mean anything, the fact that they share it? I was going to say the king can't go into these squares, but we're already not looking at these squares anyways. So that's not important. The other thing that's interesting to note about this is that there could be other pieces hidden in fog that would make some of these illegal moves, but we wouldn't know it right now. Is there something interesting about the knight move here? Right? Because if these are count different here, then the same number would be here and here, but there's no guarantee that these are count different, right? 6 is the highest number it could be, so it is the maximum that could be. All right. So let's delve a little bit deeper now. Let's think about these guys here. And we might just consider plugging in some numbers, right? So 2 is the most restrictive here. If this was a 2, then these would have to be 2s. And this would be a 1, and this would be a 1. And that's possible. That is fully doable. Yeah, I don't see any problem with that. But what if this was a 1? Oh, then this would be 2, and that's not possible because we can't have both 2s here. And this can't be a 2 either. So this is a 1. That is a 1. That is a 2. This is a 2. This is a 2. That's a 1. And we get some more pieces. This is a great constraint. I wholly agree. This knight sees. I would love to see more puzzles with this, and we will, because this is just a practice one, and I'm already 8 minutes in it on it. Although 3 minutes it was a poutine tangent. So again, this is counting same, right? So this number here, only one of these can be the same number, and then only one of these can be the same number, which means at most we can have 2, but we have 2 here. So this is probably a 1. If this is a 1, then this is a 1. I think that is the case. I'm just going to lock it in. We have a bishop here. This bishop sees 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, but it can't be this one. We can have a 1 here. We have a 2, 3, and 4. So it can go up to 4. So this is a 3 or 4. So 3 or 4. So it's one of these ones, one of these ones, one of these, one of these. Don't think we're going to get too much further with that one. Let's take a look at the queen. This queen has many squares, but if we're looking at same counting, then it can't be any of these, and it can't be this one. So the queen only has 1 and 2, but it can't be a 2, so it's a 1. Oh, it can see this 1, and it sees the 1. We have to remember it still sees the same number. It's not blocked by that number. But it doesn't see any other 2s, right? And it's the same box as a 2. Can we get a 3? We could get a 3, except this is a 1. If this was a 3, then it could have been a 3. Then it could be 1, 2, and 3. So I think this is also a 1. And then we already got this 1 here. And that gives us a 1 here. And then it gives a nice blank number. That is an interesting blank. Let us pencil mark some 2 so I feel like we are making some progress. Why is this blank significant? That's really cool. Oh, we have a 2. We have a pawn, rather. We have a pawn here. And Oh, now this is okay, we have to check here. White pawn start on row 5. Okay, so this is the starting pawn, and it already jumped up to here. And we know that it can legally see 2 of itself. So therefore, I'm saying this has to be a 2. But this can't be a 2. Did I do something wrong here? Oh no, it counts different. White counts different. Guys, how did you forget that white counts different, okay? Jeez. Alright, so that means this is 1 of the 2 that is different. And then we have one of these other ones, which is different. And, well, no, there's no piece there. Ah, that's why the blank matters, because there's no piece there. It can't go there. Therefore, it has to be able to go here. There must be a black piece here. And this is where the beginning part where it tells you how many pieces there are makes a difference, because now there can only be a rook or a knight on this square. That is a black piece. And we know that this is not a 2, which we already knew, but now we know extra harder that is not a 2. Okay, so we know this has to be a rook or a knight. Okay, so if it is a knight, so this is a knight, then what does that mean? If this is a knight, then it would count the same number. That would be here, 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 and here. And it would have to be a 3 or higher. So we can't count this one. Whoops. Can't count that one. And we got 1. Can we get 3? We get 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. So that's possible. We could make this a knight that is a 3. We couldn't do a 4. Okay, so this could be a 3 that is a knight. If this was a rook, rook's impossible. Black, we can never have a black rook, period, because it would always just see itself. So this is a knight that's a 3, and it has to be laid out as such. Bingo. Oh man, this is such a good rule set. I feel so smart. And that's a 4, which means that's a 4, which means that's a 4, and that's a 4, and that's a 4. It means you are not a 4, sir. You are an imposter. We'll come back to count this later. Do we have anything else that we can do? Would a chess that counts as a set? No. All right, let's look at this now. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we already see 3 numbers that are different. Now the question is, do we see 5 or 6 numbers that are different? And to answer that, we need to go, if this was a 6, can I put a 6 somewhere else that is not on the square? And the answer is yes. If this was a 6, I could put a 6 here. Oh, wait. We cannot put a 6. If this was a 6, then the 6 would have to go here, and the 6 has to go here, and that's impossible. So this is a 5. That is a 5, which gives us room to put a 5 somewhere else, into here or here or here. One of these will have to be a 5, but not 2 of them. So this could be a 5. This could be a 5. If this is a 5, then this is a 5. If this is a 5, then no, this can't be a 5, because then we have nowhere for a 5. In fact, 5 has to be here. Therefore, this has to be a 5. So that's a 5. And then we do the magic that is Sudoku. Apply your brain to the puzzle, and we say yada, yatta. Chess. We got chess. I like this rule set. This is a really good rule set.